This This show is brought to you by... Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. I'm Gus.
You want to go again? You want to go straight again? I'm Gavin.
There you go. Just go.
I'm Kerry, and I missed this song.
I'm Barbara.
And I'm Gus. We're here. It's post RTX podcast. We all might be a little loopy. We've been
That's
a little
the
busy. Yeah. That's how we're all feeling right now.
What if I wasn't busy and I'm just loopy? It's mainly because I slammed a Red Bull in the car drive here.
Damn.
Car drive? Car ride?
Were you like this?
Car drive? Yeah. That's how. That's how. Once you get in the Tesla, you don't have to use your hands anymore. That's right. It's 2 Red Bulls.
It's extreme.
Whenever I hear someone say I slammed a blank, I always think it means like you literally slam the drink against your face and it just like
No.
you just consume it that way.
No.
I don't know why. That's like the visual I get every time I think about that.
I've never thought of it that way, but now I'm
slammed
definitely
a
going to.
I mean, I do drink them very fast, but not that fast. Not supersonic. I guess that's what that would be.
Love
the
Sonic.
supersonic. Yeah, me too. They have slushies. They have Red Bull slushies now.
Do they?
Yeah. It makes me hurt on the inside.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not a big fan of Red Bull, so that would probably
Me
make
neither.
hurt. Yeah.
I just drink a lot.
Okay.
Hey.
It's too much. It's too expensive.
Oh yeah.
Red Bull?
They're like $2 or something.
Not if you buy them in like a 4 to 10 pack, like I do. Yeah, that's right.
Just go to Costco, make up for it in volume. Just buy a
Go
shitload.
membership.
Hey, I'm gonna let you know a little secret. That fridge over there got some Red Bulls.
Yeah, I used to hit up that fridge, and then I just felt like sometimes my heart was going really fast, and it shouldn't be. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
playing video games.
I that's why I have this watch on so I can like check my heart, see if it goes over 100.
I feel
hit,
like
a new record.
What
See
are
if
they
you
like
can go
90
over-
milligrams? Caffeine?
Yeah, it's like 80 or 90.
The Red Bull?
Red Bull?
The small can, yeah.
That's
What's
like
the
a-
normal amount of caffeine?
I mean, a cup of coffee is usually 80 to 90.
Yeah.
It's just like a coffee.
But I think there's also
It's also got taurine.
taurine, which
Yeah,
adds
that's
to
the
that.
good shit.
So
Coffee has-
a 12-ounce can of Red Bull has 111 milligrams. I don't know. I think the cans aren't 12 ounces.
No,
so.
they're usually like 8.7,
Yeah.
like something like that. I don't know. I think it's some.
8.4 probably. So 77 milligrams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I think. God, I wish I didn't know this. I think a Mountain Dew has like 70.
What about Jolt Cola?
Oh man.
Jolt Cola can.
There's
I'm gonna
those-
say more.
There's those
than-
tall boys that we have. The G Fuel tall boys. Those are like 350 milligrams of caffeine.
That's like daily dose.
Then
Like,
as the
for
kids
me,
say,
that's like half.
you're vibing.
yeah.
Hey.
A can of Jolt
Get
Cola
off
has
TikTok.
160 milligrams.
Does it last
Oh,
longer
Jesus.
if you have more, or does it just make you
Oh, there's a
more
little
energetic?
spider on my mic.
I don't think it necessarily lasts longer.
I've always wondered. It's really hitting me. I started taking ADHD meds too, like a year and a half ago.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's the end of the day. It's fucking worn off. I've always wondered that with 5-hour energy drinks. If you have half of a 5-hour energy drink,
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
yeah, or is it like okay energy for 5 hours?
There's a great joke in an episode of Bob's Burgers where someone gives one of the kids like the leftover 5-hour energy drink. They're like, "Here, I left you 1 hour of the 5-hour energy drink."
For real, I think I've even talked about this, maybe even on this podcast before. I want to know.
Let's do a test.
Yeah.
You and me, Carrie. What
Okay.
we'll do, I'll take the 5-hour energy drink.
And I'll take 10 hours of energy.
And you or half of one.
Oh, okay,
And
sure.
see how you feel after
Okay.
2.5 hours versus how I feel after 2.5 hours.
Then I feel like we also then have to do the opposite as well,
yeah.
right?
I feel like
Compare.
I don't need duration when it comes to caffeine. I just need like a little get up. I need to like chug a coffee, and I just need to get started. And once I'm moving and doing work, then it just continues.
Must
But
be
sugar,
nice.
then it'll crash, I guess.
Isn't that how it works with you?
For I don't know. I feel like I need to have like I usually only drink 1 cup of coffee a day. Like I don't do anything that crazy. But if I don't have that cup of coffee, I
Cup of Joe.
can't. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
It's
cup
like,
of Joe.
is caffeine
My cuppa.
the most socially acceptable narcotic that people ingest?
I would say so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no age limit on it, is it?
I guess not.
They should be.
No age limit. There's fucking coffee shops on every corner. You know, like
Caffeine added to all kinds. Like there's caffeinated soap and shit like that.
I got that.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I stopped using it because I was taking night showers and I was like, why the fuck can't I sleep?
Wait, like it goes in your body? Yeah. Like through the skin or through the anus?
It's however you clean yourself. You know?
What do you mean what?
through the
What? I mean, Like, I'm cleaning myself off, so it's gonna get down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it's Gavin.
Gavin, there was I wanted to tell you about this moment. So for RTX, one of the things we did was a happy hour where we played Rooster Teeth trivia with attendees, and I created the whole trivia, all the questions and the answers.
You like
and
came
stuff
up with
that.
the quiz.
And
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Good-
Yeah,
good
it was
work on that,
really
Barbara.
fun to play with you guys. But one of the things I did was I had tweets that had a word that was crossed off, and people had to like write in their answer for what they thought that tweet was. And it was a tweet from Gavin from 2014.
Probably anus.
It's funny because the tweet was, "Does a dog have a uvula?" And I blanked out dog, and people put in their answers, and a lot of people put anus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason, I would have put anus, except it didn't make grammatic sense because it was does a blank.
Does a blank.
And I
yeah.
thought if it was an
would've been an
anus,
and.
Gavin would have written
And, yeah.
not a.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I was like, you haven't changed
Oh,
a day.
God, an anus with a uvula.
I'm surprised you hadn't thought about this before, Gavin.
No.
This seems on brand for you.
$1 million.
How far in would it be? Do you think it's
I think
right
it'd
on
be,
the
I think it'd be right on
mouth?
the surface.
so to
I
speak?
think if you
How many
if you
inches-
farted, it would.
Yeah, how many inches back is your mouth uvula? Then that's how far back it would be in there.
Oh, so
you
you're
can't open your anus wide like your mouth.
Don't fucking tell me. what I
not
could
yet.
Do.
You haven't been practicing.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if instead
There's
of
training
laxatives?
kits for that.
What if instead of laxatives making your poop soft,
Mm-hmm.
they just made your butthole wider?
That's
What
not
if,
how
you
it
had,
works.
what if you had 5
I've
hour
never taken a
butthole?
laxative. What?
That's not how it
The
works.
last time I went to the doctor, he said something that inadvertently truly disgusted me. Oh my God. He was talking about, it was like a yearly checkup and just talking about stuff in general. And he's like, when I turned 50, that, they're probably going to do a colonoscopy just to check for polyps and stuff.
It's
He's
fun too.
And he was like, he's like, don't worry, most people have polyps. Almost all of them are benign. And then he started, this is what disgusted me. He said, if you think about it, the inside of your colon and your intestines is just skin. And all the food you eat, imagine all the food you eat just rubbing over skin your entire lifetime. Eventually, that's going to create irritation and a polyp.
I refuse
And
to
I
eat
was like,
that.
I don't want to eat anymore. You've just absolutely disgusted me thinking of it that way. It's thinking of the insides of my intestines and just thinking of the food rubbing against it for my everything I eat, every single piece of food.
Chew well.
Yeah, just rubbing against it. I was like,
Now
that
I'm worried
sounds,
about everything crunchy I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you don't chew that chip just enough.
Yeah, think about what your anus uvula is going through, guys. It's just
There's no way. There's no way it's just like your outside skin. It'd be like the inside of your mouth or something, right?
Yeah,
Like,
like the inside of your cheek.
yeah. Isn't that what that's supposed to be like down
The
there?
vagina, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say.
I
it.
assume
Thank
all
you,
the
Barbara.
wet stuff heals faster.
I would think it's slower.
So many
I mean,
questions.
have you ever cut your mouth? It stops bleeding really quick.
Does it? Or does it just get dissolved, diluted, and you don't notice?
What about the hymen?
That doesn't heal.
What about the hymen? Go.
It actually just gets pulled. It doesn't tear.
Gets pulled where?
I'm learning every. The uvula pulls it.
To the side, left or right?
There's some strange energy on this podcast today.
Yeah, this is the first in a very long time I've been on, and the last for another very long time.
This is what happens when we have RTX over 10 days with no vacation afterwards.
Yeah.
Right broadcast, right broadcast.
I walked in today, and as I walked up to the set, I said, "Hey, everyone, happy day 12 of RTX."
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Cody booed me.
Woo!
Over the weekend, I watched a documentary. I'm going to put it in air quotes. A documentary that it was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Documentary, and it was called The Mole Agent. I don't know if any of you have seen it or heard of it. It's a Chilean documentary.
Mole agent.
And I use air quotes because there's obviously some parts that are kind of set up in order to try to achieve what they're going for.
Okay.
And what they do is the premise is that there's a woman in an old folks home, in a retirement home, and the woman's daughter thinks that her mother may be getting abused or stuff stolen from her. So the documentary crew hires an old man and plants him inside the retirement home to do undercover work, to be a double agent, spying on the retirement home, because he's fully there mentally.
Yeah.
And they teach him how to use an iPhone to take pictures and record voice messages and send them to them. So he's investigating the retirement home while acting like he's one of the people in the retirement home. And it's really interesting. It's a really interesting documentary. Again, I use air quotes. Some of it seems a little set up. It's a little too convenient at times, but and at the end, like the credits roll and everything, and I was like, oh, that was really fun. No, wait, that was really incredibly sad. Like that was just like sad when it was over. Like all these people just wanted their kids to visit them, and their
God.
kids aren't visiting them. Like I don't know why. Like you just left.
That's why
wondering
you
what
just never have
happens.
kids. And then you don't get disappointed when no one visits you.
Yeah, but then you're just alone. You're just like there's nobody ever
Well,
gonna come.
all the money you
That's-
save from not having kids, you pay someone to visit you.
But
And it's great.
that's the exact same outcome, but with none of the hope.
Well,
Is it
sometimes,
better to hope or to
is it better to have loved
There you
and
go.
lost than have never to have loved at all?
Then have to never have.
to never have children?
But they interview at the very beginning. They interview like 6 or 7. They put an ad in the paper. They're like, we're looking for a man between 80 and 90 years old who can learn how to use technology. So like
Learn.
they show them like interviewing a bunch of different men, and when they give one of them a phone, they're like, here, take a picture of me. And the guy's like, it's not working. It's frozen and nothing's working. It's not working.
And that's the one he went with.
Well, no, it's not. They hands the phone back to the private investigator. The private investigator looks at it and goes, you just took 14 photos of me. What do you mean it's not working?
I mean, why do they? Put
That's
the
what
ad-
Barb does, though.
Why do they put the ad in the paper? Why don't they just put it on TikTok or something?
Oh,
If an old man responds through TikTok, he knows what he's
then
doing.
you know.
That's actually a good point.
How were they worried at any point that the old man would then become like too old while in there and
He
just,
would
like,
age out
forget?
like while he was
Yeah,
Being around old people makes him feel older.
yeah.
They put him in for 3 months. He spent 3 months in the
Jesus.
retirement
Dang.
home. Yeah, because they wanted to make it seem like he was just a normal resident there.
So did he like go all the way? Did he like let them wipe his ass and all that?
Yeah, he's hard now.
No,
Like,
he was.
He's like going to
he was
jail.
fairly independent. Like even in the retirement home, the other people who were there are like, oh, he's still like the other old people are like he's still all there mentally. Like he's really independent. Like he
Yeah.
kind of stands out for that.
Was there any love interests?
Yes, there was actually.
I just became 10 times more interested.
Yeah, there's like this whole like. Well, it's difficult for him because
It's difficult for a lot of us guys.
well, his wife had just died like 4 months
okay.
before
I'm sad now.
he gets put in. So but then once he goes in, there's like 40 women in the retirement home and only 4 men.
Whoa.
So it's like there's
It's ripe for the picking.
there's like all this like love subplot that goes on as well. Yeah,
I hear there's
interesting.
a lot of fucking in retirement homes.
I hear there's a lot of
Where'd you hear this
STDs
from?
There's a lot
retirement
of
homes.
fucking.
Who have you got on the inside? Who did you hire?
Nobody I know. Don't even go that route. Not my bubby. She's not in a retirement home. anyways.
Do you, when you first started describing this, the second you put it in air quotes, I was imagining that it was like a 40 or 50-year-old man, and they put like a
I was
like a
imagining Johnny
jackass.
Knoxville,
Yeah, Johnny
yeah.
Knoxville. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Like playing basketball
Yeah.
outside.
Would he have still fucked as much? That was the question.
You know, everyone's of
know.
legal age, Carrie.
Yeah.
Everyone's a
whatever you want.
consenting adult.
What was? I mean, if you feel like it's worth spoiling, I guess. Like, I'm assuming the outcome was not very good. You don't have to say.
Okay, I'll say this. The outcome is that the mother was not being mistreated
Okay.
in the retirement home, but he does find the thief.
Oh.
There was stuff being stolen, and he like that's one of the subplots that they go through is like trying to solve the mystery and figure
Yeah.
out what's going on. And it's funny because it's like he's like, you know, I tailed so and so today to follow them and see what they're doing, and he's literally right behind them, just like following, like no subtlety, no like trying to hide. It's just like literally he walks right behind someone the entire day.
Well, I mean, again, not to get too like terrible about this, but they probably didn't see him.
They might not have.
I mean,
might not have been aware.
What's the youngest you can go into an old people's home?
Yeah, is there an age limit?
I don't know.
I found out the other day there's no AARP. You can actually get in if you're like 35. I think.
Yeah.
You know why you found out? Because they're advertising to you now. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole new thing. Is
Yeah.
Oh, no, I saw through a TikTok.
Yeah, I think I did too. Actually.
that may be why you
Someone's
saw it.
like, life hack. You
Yeah.
don't have to
What
be
is
a
it-
certain age. to
What is
join.
that called? Like the kind of marketing. where it's
Viral
like-
marketing.
I get no, but like where it's like natural. I don't know. I was gonna make a dumb joke.
Oh,
What are you on about?
ARP,
What's that?
AARP. It's where you can like get like benefits for being old.
Discounts
He's
and
used to
whatnot.
the UK ARP.
Oh,
Just one.
UCARP.
999.
Yeah.
So was it like just claiming
I think
benefits?
I think it's just like getting discounts on certain
Yeah.
things and like
Being
Getting-
allowed to complain about stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is like a lobbying organization.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
You just have to
discounts
wait
on
until you're old enough to be
food.
president.
They recently started a big push to try to recruit people my age, like in Gen X. That's like their new thing because obviously
To
their
old folks' homes?
Their well for AARP.
Oh, okay. I was
their,
like, Jesus.
Their members don't stay members forever.
I saw someone in chat go, "How young is old?"
That's a Gavin question. He's right here.
young.
That's great. I missed the name, but that was
Be
Window
tweet.
Bird
How
says-
blank is old?
Windowbird says
young
senior
is
living
old?
generally starts at 55 plus or 62 plus.
Okay.
Thank you, Windowbirds. Oh, I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. I feel like maybe I should mention it now.
The song.
If you should stay tuned. At the end of this podcast, we did an interview with Kevin Smith for talking about the upcoming He-Man show on Netflix.
He-Man.
So yeah, we're gonna have that at the end. Once we're done talking here, then you'll get to see that. So if you're watching live, that's most important for you because if you're watching on VOD, you probably see that.
Would
the
you have
VOD
been
has a lot
annoyed
more.
if he just did it in character as Silent Bob?
Well, he probably wouldn't have talked about He-Man very much. during RTX on the day when I hosted, I had to burp. I was drinking a soda. On the day I hosted, at the very beginning of the day, I chugged a 12-ounce can of sparkling water.
Hell yeah.
I wanted a can of still water because I was trying to tell people to hydrate.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't find a can of still water, so I had to buy a can of sparkling water. And I chugged it, and then the rest of that segment, when I was trying to read, I kept having a burp. It was like absolutely just like loud, disgusting burps.
Did you feel a little bougie though? Like a little better than everybody else?
Yeah.
Because you have sparkling water?
Pinkies up.
Yeah. Hey, did you do the thing where you like spin it so it like creates a vortex? So just like.
That only works with bottles, doesn't it?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I sparkling, I assumed maybe it was a bottle. I don't know.
No, it was a
Okay.
can.
I'm
Because
sorry.
I wanted to shotgun it, but I couldn't find the can
gotta
opener
slam it.
with the piercing
Can
part.
you just use a key?
It was like wet and oval, so I didn't want to get a knife or something and jab it because I thought it would just slide off and
Slide to your finger.
just slide into my hand, and I didn't want to start bleeding when I still had more to read. So I was like, I'm just gonna try to chug it without shotgunning it.
How was it doing RTX hosting it in a human form as yourself?
It was fine. I didn't
must have
move.
been
I just
nice.
sat in the same spot the whole time.
I did too. I made the mistake of hosting RTX's Gambo,
I saw
which
some clips of
means
that.
I had to sit behind a couch the whole day with my head up on the top of the couch like this with my neck craned. And the mask that I wear for it always slides back just a little bit. So every time I have to like make sure it's pulled down so my nose doesn't sit in the mouth hole the whole
Does
time.
that slowly lift the balls up?
It does, yeah.
How was your back feeling the next day?
It was rough.
Yeah.
As 32-year-old, I don't know if I could do something like that anymore. That might have been my limit.
Want to go to an old people's home?
Get that AARP benefit. They give you an extra cushion when you sit behind the couch now.
For
Quick update: the spiders on my water bottle now. Go ahead.
for reference, for anybody who's watching the podcast, that side set is like right behind us, right here. It's like a weird thing. If this camera were to turn,
Yeah.
just
You know
like
what?
right
This
behind
camera could
there.
turn.
Yeah, it says
know
if
what?
it
It's
were
not-
to
it's not
turn.
enough, though.
I didn't say
But
if it could turn.
It could right now.
In fact, it shouldn't.
A light could come on over
Well,
there.
there's no
the
lights
camera
over
could
there.
t-
It's totally dark. No, it's not. It's right.
It's-
It's not worth it.
There's just like a 70s basement,
It could be a little bit.
10 feet.
could
You,
just
you go
move
sit over there.
sets.
Why don't you go sit over
Oh
there?
wait, no, that wasn't me as Gambo. Gambo was separate. I was
I was wondering, did you just like Santa everybody just now?
we're different people.
Yeah, no, I know.
I
Don't
was
worry.
confused.
Don't worry. I wasn't going to correct you because I didn't want you to yeah, I didn't want to make it seem like you're wrong, but don't worry.
We
I
all
forgot
know.
we were a podcast. I was just talking amongst friends.
Yeah.
We could do a split screen thing with you and Gambo, where you just talk to it.
We did that for the end. Although it wasn't a split screen, we were in the same room.
Yeah,
Because
Barbara and Gambo interacted.
They're different people.
Yeah,
Don't forget that.
that was a behind the scenes comment.
Did I don't want to sound like a fucking cliche, but did anybody? We're all over 30 here.
And then some.
For now.
Your body really just gives up on you, right?
Yeah, it's all that food rubbing on your intestines your whole life.
I turned 30 2 months ago, just a little over 2 months ago.
32 months ago,
2 months ago.
or 32 months
30,
ago.
30, 2 months ago.
Got it.
Okay.
I'm,
he
I'm a
is
baby.
currently 30.
I'm 30.
Nice, congrats, you made it.
I don't know if I'm celebrating. I feel like a fucking Hyundai that has like 101,000 miles on it. And I'm just out of the warranty, and now everything's just like, you expected to get farther? Fuck, if I'm sitting weird right now, it's because last Tuesday, so almost a week ago, I put a pod in my dishwasher and I threw it out my back.
Oh my god.
You have to get
And-
into the technique of just like putting the pot in, holding the door up,
Yeah.
instead
You
of
got-
all the way down.
You got to use your legs, not your back.
So then, like, the next 3 days was recovery, and I was starting to feel better. And then over the weekend, I had the fucking audacity to vacuum my house, and now my back's hurting.
God.
Carrie, we should give you some stretches to do or something.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Also, there's stuff you could buy like foam rollers, and there's this thing
I got one of
that looks
those.
like a peanut
Go on.
that you essentially put like on either side of your spine, and you could do some like good spinal
Those ones
stretches.
hurt a lot, though. Foam rollers hurt a lot.
They do, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good
Like
hurt.
it's a good hurt.
It's not a bad hurt like you have now.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
want
I
to
do
let
have
the
a-
muscle just kind of stretch
I
over
have a
it.
bad
and-
hurt right now.
Yeah.
What if I just come over and I do your dishwasher pods?
That would also be very good. I did get new ones. You have to like tear out a little foil thing.
Really? What?
Oh,
So
that's effort.
fancy.
We'll just
Yeah.
get one in the bucket.
Or just
for
get the liquid. You just like squeeze in there.
Well, then I gotta scoop it. I gotta put it back.
The liquid.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I already ordered 90 of these
my
pods,
God.
guys. So I'm a little committed.
A couple years
My
ago,
dishes look
right before
nice.
COVID, I guess it must have been like 2 years ago now. I was
God.
walking over here in the break room.
Yeah.
And I was walking past the break room. I was walking from like that other area past the old achievement hunter room to the break room. And I heard like a, and I was like, and then there was just like a pinch in my lower back. No. And I had to sit down on the break room table, and I just had to put my head and my arms out on the table, and I couldn't move. And I was just like, if there's anybody there, can someone get me a painkiller and some water?
My
like
cork.
I couldn't look up, and I couldn't. I was just like,
My cork popped out.
Can someone just get me an Advil?
I feel like I need to cut back to footage of us at Rooster Teeth over the last 10 years, like
Yeah.
just doing like jumping and like falling on the ground and like doing really stupid shit, to now us being like, I can't,
It hurts.
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
I mean, normally
So
I'm
old,
alright.
so weak.
Normally, to be fair, I also pulled my back when I was like 10, so maybe I just have a bad back.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered like physical therapy or like a trainer or anything like that to strengthen
Yeah.
that baby up?
That'd be good. I got a standing desk. So
Step one.
Yeah.
I like
That's
this.
Yeah.
nice.
Sometimes I'll put it up and down and like constantly, so it's like I'm doing squats. But
That would be a really slow squat,
hey, we gotta start.
unless your
Start
desk goes really fast.
Yeah, it's a motor up and then just fucking roller coaster just drop down. No, I mean, I'm definitely in the bucket of like, oh, I thought we were gonna have a couple more months before I could go out in public.
Yep. Nope.
Bucket. So I could use some exercise. I should probably do that. I just
care about y'all. I want y'all
appreciate it.
to be healthy and live as long as possible. So I want y'all to take care of
I
yourself.
want to live long enough to get that colonoscopy.
See how much, so many
yeah.
polyps you have.
Yeah.
You know, you could get one whenever you want.
That's true. You
I've
probably
had-
have a small camera, don't you, Gavin?
Yeah, got an endoscope.
Yeah.
What if I throw out my back while I'm giving you a colonoscopy?
But like at the same time, like because like the way I'm bending over to do it, I throw out my back too. So we just start rolling on the ground.
I do like the idea of you describing yourself as like being out of warranty, though.
That's what it felt like.
Great.
The second I hit 30, I was like, oh man, my knees are hurting. Like
So once
everything.
once you're old enough to like leave your parents' health insurance, that's when you're out of warranty. When you're like 25,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I guess
that's it. Out of
everyone in
warranty.
the US having to pay for healthcare is constantly out of warranty.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's gonna be expensive to fix.
I was just reminded of the time when back in the old 636 office where I sat in a cardboard box filled with packaging peanuts, and Ray
Look,
came.
don't be in a box.
Don't be in a box. Ray came in and drop kicked me. And I was like, first of all, I was fine because I was covered in packaging peanuts. But
Yeah.
the fact that he did that, like, damn, that's some flexibility and some like
Yeah.
sweet moves. You used to do parkour though.
I did Taekwondo. I used to be a little physical boy.
Damn.
And now, look at me. Look at me.
Physical.
This is what can happen. Do jumping jacks, kids.
You're the ghost of activity's future.
I want to, I'll start doing some stuff soon. That's fine.
There was
You
a
don't have to.
That's a good point. Thanks, Gavin.
there,
I got like
Yes, you do.
2 people on my shoulder right now.
with the little angel, little devil.
Yeah.
Which one's the angel or devil in this situation, though? Is it the person being like, exercise, take care of
Probably you.
yourself,
You're
or the
so-
person being like,
Eat one more donut."
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get around
Why,
to it.
why walk to the mailbox when you can drive for 30 seconds?
It's true.
You know?
There was an episode of Intervention I saw. I like watching Intervention. I don't know if anyone ever
Yeah.
watches that show.
I used
It's
to,
an
yeah.
episode I saw recently where this guy was like a heroin addict, and he had to go. He was going to go like buy heroin and shoot it up, but he couldn't drive. I think his license was suspended, and he had broken his bike, so he had to like fix a rascal scooter because he didn't want to walk there. It's like, he's totally fine. He can walk, but he was just too lazy to go buy his heroin. So he just like, they're following, the documentary crew's following him, and he's just driving in the little rascal scooter with the flag down to meet his drug dealer to buy heroin, to then go like behind an abandoned school and shoot up. And I was like, man, that is like commitment not only to like the drugs, but also to being super lazy about it.
Why not just go home and do it?
I think he was living, if I remember right, he was living with his mother, and she gave him a hard time about it.
Don't you hate it when that happens? You try to fucking shoot up and your mom just won't shut up about it.
God, Mom.
Shooting up again?
So lame.
I just assumed he just really wanted it. It's like when you order fast food and you're just like, I'll just eat in the car, fuck it.
See, I just have a problem where I'm like lazy over the dumbest things. Like if Trevor and I are watching TV on our couch and we're both like leaning back and the like episode ends and you know how it's like it's gonna skip to the next one, but like usually we'll be like, oh, we'll want to stop maybe, and like the remote's at the end of the table. I'll be like, could you get the?
That is so lame.
Like literally, it's like I don't want to like lean up and like get it because you're so comfortable on the couch.
I feel like by the time a show's ending, I'm ready to get up again.
Nah,
no.
Barb, I mean that all of my coffee tables. I have carpet. All of my carpet. You know those like mover things you can get. I leave those on 24/7 so I can just move the table with my foot.
Yeah, we have
all of your
over to me.
furniture
we have the
slidable.
table that part of the table
Yeah.
comes up, so you can eat at
shit.
it like a table that comes up to your height. Love that thing.
I'm planning on. I'm gonna get one of those next.
That's
But
all
see-
fun and games until you spill a drink and it all goes inside to all the...
Yeah,
We
then
don't
you
keep anything
close it up
important
and you
inside.
never fucking talk about it again.
Do you want to know what's inside that table? A lot of Taco Bell hot sauce.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that'd be sweet if it was just filled with hot
Yeah.
sauce.
It's a lot
Yeah.
because whenever we get Taco Bell, there's so
Yeah.
much. They just dump the bag in with sauce, even if we ask for none. And so we're just like, well, add it to the pile.
Fucking Gavin comes over. He's like, "Oh man, I wish I had some sauce." With Taco Barb's like, "Don't worry, I got you."
You're gonna have to lift it though, because I'm too tired.
Yeah, I can't because of my back.
I've got if I can't reach my remote, I've got an app on my phone that
Hell
can
yeah.
emulate my remote, so I can do everything
up.
from my phone as well.
No,
It's
we're
like
the
it's over there.
ultimate
I got
lazy.
my phone.
I put a smart switch on my bedroom fan, like my ceiling fan. So like if I was already in bed and all comfy and I started to get a little warm, I could just be
Just
like,
hit it.
turn that shit on.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you'd stuck a switch on the fan and you had to like chase it around.
I'm trying to do less work.
I was like, yeah, that's
Just
the
get your
opposite.
cat to like sit there and
Yeah.
like, whack,
I
just like
throw my
swat
cat at it.
I saw a tip that would maybe it'll be useful to you or
Please,
anybody
is it-
watching who's trying to like do something or get something done, whether
Yeah.
it's exercise or like cleaning, is just like put a timer on for 15 minutes. Literally just put a timer on your phone for 15 minutes and be like, okay, for the next 15 minutes I have to do like clean my kitchen.
Barbara, we have the same TikTok algorithm.
Do you saw that one too?
I bought a timer because of that.
It is actually
one on your
really
phone.
smart.
Shut up.
Sometimes it's nice to see a physical
Yeah, I need something that's different. You know, like I don't want to be on my phone.
dedicated for it.
You know, I do it for
But
work
do
now
it,
too.
do it for exercise.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, okay,
Ooh,
I'll
okay,
do
now,
some.
now I'm not with her anymore.
Just looking at the 50
Set
minutes,
the
you're like,
timer for 15
4
minutes.
minutes.
You can see it. Like you say you want to see something, it's on the phone.
Yeah, but it's like on the counter, and if you're doing stuff, you can't. it's not
Here's the
like-
other reason. I am so fucking bad right
How
now.
much time is left on my timer?
Flawless.
It says it. but-
Flawless, yeah.
Look.
It's muted.
Look,
I'm gonna do 15 minutes as well.
well, okay. Look, I have a watch. I can do a full timer too.
What
Look,
did you bought a timer? I
here's
hate
the
your
thing.
defense.
Here's the thing. If I want to focus on
Cancel
work,
my timer.
listen, if I want to focus
Double
on work,
my timer.
does that work?
I'm going to throw my juce land cup
Didn't
at
fucking
both
work.
of you.
Just said for how long?
Dude,
Eat a butt.
You have like a $1,000
Eat a butt.
timer already.
That I didn't buy this to be a timer.
Yeah,
But it's also a timer.
But it's nice to just be
Here's
able
the
to like
thing.
look up and see, okay, I got 3 minutes
yeah.
left.
What if I want to focus on work and I don't want to pick up my phone and get distracted and go on TikTok like I always fucking do?
Show me
Delete
my
TikTok.
timer.
All right. Okay. Okay. You have a point. And you can suck it. I'm not gonna.
You could make a widget
Yeah.
that just has the timer on the home screen.
Well, how long can you return something on Amazon?
Like,
Carrie, I think you should do whatever works for you.
All right.
I think that's the ultimate. And
See,
if you
Barb-
need something up there showing you,
It was cheap.
See, now we're the devils
Nah,
and you're the angels.
Yeah.
I'm always the angel.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Like it helps though. It really does. Like if I try and tell myself I need to clean my kitchen, I'm never gonna do that.
Right.
I'm never gonna do that.
But yeah,
'Cause
15 minutes.
but if I say just clean for 15 minutes,
See
I'm
what
gonna
you get
get
done.
so much shit done.
See what you get done. Because then you're racing yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like I never get to the point where like it's that bad. Like if I'm in my kitchen anyway, if I'm like I'm gonna heat some water up to make some coffee, it's like well I got like 2 minutes for that to heat up. Like I'm just gonna like put these glasses up in the dishwasher.
No, I'm a terrible person. That was the difference.
Oh.
And like I'm one of those people that like it gets pretty bad, and then I have to like do like a clean. I'm one
Here's
of
what
those-
you
so I'm
do.
trying to not do that anymore.
Once you get your place to a
Yeah.
cleanly state. Because I
I'm
don't
there
know.
now. Actually, I'm good.
You're good now?
Yeah, I did a pass.
Every time you're doing something
Yeah.
and you're about to like put it down or something, I do this in my head. I say, don't put it down, put it away.
Yeah.
Every single time I'm like, "Ugh, just put it away. Like
Don't-
it's really not hard.
Honestly, for half my shit, don't put it down. Throw it away.
Or throw it away.
Maybe throw it away.
Yeah.
Like this timer.
Yeah, my granddad taught me a mindset because he was a chef. He would always just say,
Bardi.
"What?
What?
Mise en place.
When like cooking and stuff, he'd be like,
Yeah.
clean as you go, or don't go." Because otherwise you have to
Oh,
clean all of the eggs.
interesting.
I was like, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Is
The
there
only
a
time it
time
doesn't work is
between
if you're
steps?
in a rush.
Yeah.
Then it's
Yeah.
hard. Because like, if you're like, I just need to like make this thing and leave or something or whatever it is, or I need to like pick out an outfit for this event that I'm late to already.
Yeah.
Then
Would
you
it-
might have like clothes everywhere.
Could it be clean as you go, except for those 2 pans, and then you can. I mean, you can get probably tomorrow. I
You're
think
over
would
here
probably be
bragging
good.
about your new dishwasher pod shit.
Yeah, well, you can't.
it in
You
there.
can't put the pans in the dishwasher. That's gonna ruin the finish.
Oh, I
And then you
did.
have to pre-season it again.
Oh, do you have like a
You got like cast iron.
cast iron?
I mean, I have one of those. Yeah, just in general, you don't want to put them in the dish. It increases the longevity if you don't put them in the dishwasher.
Do you pre-season your cereal bowls?
Yeah, with milk.
I just don't put. I don't have cast iron, but I wouldn't put cast iron, and I don't put nonstick in my dishwasher. The other
Yeah, I
ones I'll
think
put in there.
I have nonstick and cast iron, so I'm just like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, my dishwasher's for forks. Yeah, it's really, if I'm
I
being
have
honest.
this dumb device. I guess it's like you got like your normal 2-drawer dishwasher. You got all this shit at the bottom, and then there's like mugs and shit on the top.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this is what I didn't have as a kid was like a third thing,
Oh, I've seen those.
very flat thing, very close to the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you're supposed to put in there, like
I think
knives,
Oh,
sharp
silverware
knives.
or stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Never put your knife in a dishwasher.
Yeah, no.
I'll put like tongs
Yeah.
and like spatulas up there.
Yeah, it has to be like flat stuff.
Yeah, Gavin, never put your knife in a dishwasher.
I got knives everywhere. But
The
yeah,
dishwashers get so hot it ruins the forge on a knife. Like,
I never
it'll
put like
ruin the edge.
nice knives
Yeah.
in there.
but
I
it's
put
not going to
everything
not
else.
cut a steak when it comes out.
The dishwasher can really fuck some knives up.
You also probably overestimate what we're cooking and what we need nice
Yeah,
knives for.
I mean a butter knife, sure.
yeah.
But with with my sharpest knives in the top thing, I always forget that I've put them there. So I'll like pull open the drawer and the
God.
knives will slide. I'll be like, ugh! And they'll come and just go. Dun, dun, dun.
I feel like doing that once you would remember.
Or
Yeah, I
you start
did it,
putting
like,
it in
3
with the
times.
handles first, like
Yeah.
so the points go in the other direction.
Okay, never gonna do that again. 2 days later.
Gets your heart
La,
going.
la, 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 la.
I just want to be very clear about something. I'm not a milk first person. That was just for the joke.
Milk first. Oh, cereal.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of comments in the chat. I don't want people to think any less of me. That was for the joke. Thank you.
If there actually are legitimately milk first people out there, I don't want to
Yeah,
know.
like Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
I tried it once or twice, but yeah, it's like it's unnatural. It's wrong.
Just you put the cereal and then you see how much milk you need based off the cereal.
Because then if you put the cereal in second, then it's just like floating on the top. You don't get like
And you're not sure, like,
yeah,
what
It's,
the
it's
ratio is
fucked up.
going to be.
It's not right.
Bad.
The way you described it sounded like somebody describing like butt stuff in college.
I dabbled
they're
in it.
experimenting.
Well, you know,
I tried it. It just feels unnatural to me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
that
you know,
you'll
however
feel,
people want to do it, that's fine.
I only do milk first if I'm behind and abandoned school. Otherwise, I get.
I only do it when I'm drunk. I forget the order.
I finally. So I mentioned this the other week. You know, the season finale of Loki came out, and that's a show that I did not care about at all. Like I wasn't at all curious about it until Barbara finally convinced me to watch it.
I haven't watched it. No spoilers.
It was good.
Same.
Like I think I started watching it like the weekend before the finale.
Which show?
Okay.
Loki.
Oh, Loki.
So I watched like the first 5 episodes. Like, oh, this is great. Then like 2 days later, I watched the finale. So I watched the whole thing like in the course of 3 days. I was like,
That's the best
oh, the
way
show
to
was
do it.
great.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think they're using that show to potentially set up like next MCU arc stuff. So I think like
Because they're on phase 4 or whatever.
right.
Well,
So
I
I
think there's
think
a lot of thereries about they're making it's Ant-Man and the Multiverse of Madness, I think.
Or no, it's like it's even the Quantinium, or it's a weird name.
Yeah, it's with Kang. What's his name?
Yeah.
King the Conqueror.
Yes. Ant-Man 3?
Yeah, this
Bunch of nerds.
man, the Marvel cinematic universe is fascinating, and all the theories going around with those shows.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Quantumania.
Is the MCU, does that cover the shows, or is that...
Yes, but
The
what they've said
MTU.
is that the shows will never do something to dramatically affect the movies because they assume that not everyone watches the shows.
I feel like
So
as time goes on, they're just going to blend together into just
Yeah.
experiences that are the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
I mean, like Loki's just a really long movie.
right?
Same.
Yeah.
One Division. I mean,
Yeah.
it was some of the effects like towards the end, like you could kind of see, we're definitely like a little bit more TV versus like film effects. But I mean, like it looked great the whole time.
Yeah.
I've always preferred TV to movies in general, just because it's like you get to like live with the characters more, and that's kind of my jam.
There's
I love me some Thor. Don't get me wrong.
I'm excited for the Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
This is not a spoiler because this is episode 1 of Loki. This is like probably the first 15 minutes of episode 1 of Loki. There's a scene where like they take him to this new place where they are, the TVA, and he's like because it's the Loki from Endgame when they go back in time and then they drop the Tesseract and then Loki grabs it and disappears.
Oh, when they go like from Endgame to 2012
right.
Avengers.
So
Yeah.
it's that Loki that's in the TV show.
Oh.
Then they take that Tesseract from him, and then like he goes to try to get it back, and he's like, "Give me the Tesseract back." Like, okay, and like a guy opens a drawer, and it's just filled with Infinity Stones,
Yeah.
like all the different ones.
Because it's just so insanely powerful.
Yeah, and Loki's like, "Are those all Infinity Stones?" The guy's like, "Oh yeah, we have tons of them. You want any of the
I
other
use them
ones?"
as paperweights.
Yeah, like some of the guys use them as paperweights. Like, and Loki's just like, "What?"
Which one was it? Was it the Mind Stone that was in the Tesseract?
I thought it was
Time?
No, I thought it was space. Time was green, I think.
Oh, that time was yellow.
Time was the Doctor Strange one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was
Time's
green.
green. That's green. Yeah.
Tesseract.
Oh no, the Mind Stone was in his scepter, wasn't it? I don't remember. Wait,
So
what
that
was
would be
but that was
blue.
Space.
Tesseract.
It was space.
Yeah.
Space?
The
Okay.
Mind
Space?
Stone's in Vision. The yellow one. Isn't it?
Yes.
What was in his
In
stick
it?
then?
That was the same as the Tesseract, was it
Yeah,
not?
I think he takes the stone out of the Tesseract and then puts it in the staff. And is that in? Yeah, that's in Avengers.
Yeah.
But he has the Tesseract because they went back in time.
There are so many people watching this right now who are
I
just like,
confused myself.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, sorry.
I'm not sorry. we can talk about this if we want.
Getting so many details wrong.
Yeah.
Space. Okay, so it's the space
Space
stone in the
stone.
Tesseract.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
This is the best thing about having
The chat?
people watching us talk about this. That they can
correct
just they can correct us right off the bat.
We're never wrong though.
Space was in the Tesseract. Mind was in the scepter.
Oh, they were two different ones. Okay.
So he.
Oh, that's right, because they're
Mine is in
in
the staff.
Age of Ultron. They have the scepter on the thing when they're scanning it.
That's right.
Yes. It's all coming back to me now.
I want to watch them all again.
I wonder if chat gets more angry when we get like Marvel information wrong like that, or science information wrong, or
Probably- I
equally
mean-
both.
They're equally true in my head. So
It's true. Oh, science.
yeah, I mean at this point, it's so like the Marvel movies are so part of my life. Like
It's truth.
gravity, what stones in the staff, it's all the same thing. The more I understand science, the more I'll understand Marvel movies.
It's true, Kerry.
So
That's why the smartest people enjoy those movies.
yeah, like us.
Obviously.
Yeah. Do you think
Never.
it's the dumbest thing I've ever
I
said?
try to avoid it.
Do you think if the Hulk needed a colonoscopy, if it'd be easier for him to transform into the Hulk because like his butt would be a little bit bigger?
I know.
Classic
I think his
podcast conversation.
I think his butt would crush the camera.
Like his cheeks.
No, I think like the anus,
Oh, the inner
like
the inner
the
uvula.
sphincter would just.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
You know, I think regardless of how big you are, your butthole's just as tight. Right?
Is that what they say?
I'm saying if you need to get a camera in my butt versus like an elephant's butt, I think it'd be one would be significantly easier.
Right.
You know?
Remember that video of the elephant that sat on the guy's head?
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my God. Do you think that guy's still alive, right? Like he tells that story.
His head is just gone, just right up there.
I don't know if I've seen this.
Oh, it's like a really, really old video.
Every
It's
ti-
like so low quality, but it just
Yeah,
like
just to be clear, you can't unsee it.
We're not talking
Oh, yeah.
about fucking Ace Ventura coming out of the rhino, fake rhino, right?
No.
That's the other way around.
That's the other way
just,
around.
Like, just his head coming out.
Yeah.
If an elephant sat on
That's
a man
child's
and
play.
he went in feet first, that would be really disturbing.
La la la. Oh my god. What's happening? What's he doing
He's
down
cleaning.
there? I feel like you need the Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
That's
to
what I
happen
played
right
in my head the second it happened.
What if that's where the credits are to Curb Your Enthusiasm? They're just up an elephant's ass.
Is okay. Upside, silver lining, brown lining, but silver lining. That was a good joke. Can he get a Guinness World Record for having the biggest hat? Technically, that's probably the biggest hat anyone's ever had.
You know, Kerry,
It's either him or Bernie. I'm not sure. We'd have to measure it.
what is the hat like? Would he have to be upright with it, balancing on his head, or is it just something you wear on your head that's could be still on the ground?
mean-
like what qualifies? a hat?
Barb, hang on. Let me, if I could. Oh, this is great for my back. Am I still wearing a hat, Barb?
Yes,
Then the elephant wins.
Kerry, do you need help?
I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm just saying, it's still a hat.
Then the elephant
I fucked
wins.
something up real bad on this. Okay. We're good.
You got
Everything's
it?
fine. Yeah, everything's. You just
There's
gotta
like a thing there
handle
with
this.
the thing, and then
It doesn't move. It's fine. We're good.
you'll just have to sit lower
I'll
forever.
just I'll sit like this. There we go. It's actually better for my back. Is this okay? Do you mind this? With the feet on the table?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I'd say it's more of a
Hey, what's
helmet
up?
than a hat.
Okay.
It's
Protective.
I feel like I'm starting to get judged by my phone. Like I feel like my phone's making assumptions about my life that
Tell
I
your phone
don't
to
like.
shut up.
Do you all have this feature where it's like you get in your car, you're gonna go somewhere, and like your phone looks at your calendar and is like it estimates like it's this many minutes to get where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Now when I get in my car like early on Saturday mornings, like if I'm gonna go get coffee or something, it's like, hey, it's only X number of minutes to get to the dentist. I'm like, I'm not going to the fucking dentist. It's like, I guess I've gone so frequently that it's like, hey, you're going to the dentist, huh? Okay, it's only this. I'm like, I'm not going to the fucking dentist.
Go.
That was one of the early things that depressed me during the quarantine. Was the GPS in my car. Every time I got in the car, I was like, "Oh, you're going to work, right?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm going to go to an HEB and stand in line."
Aren't there stories about like people's algorithms and stuff figuring out that they were pregnant before they knew because they would start like I guess Googling certain symptoms or like if they were looking certain things up, it would like mean that they were.
Your phone would just be like, it's a boy.
I've also seen stories about
Congratulations.
people getting like flyers from stores advertising prenatal vitamins and things like that. And they're like, I don't need this. And
And then they were pregnant.
yeah,
Damn, dude.
the beast, it knows.
It knows.
I always just get very confused when like a service.
I
like,
heard that.
Let's little
Your
click
cork
there.
pop out?
I popped.
That sounds satisfying though.
I popped. It wasn't. I popped.
Have you ever
I'm sorry.
Have you ever
I
had
fixed it.
like, Amazon suggest that you subscribe to something instead of
Serious?
just buy one off, but it's something that you would never want?
Yeah. Oh, what?
Sorry, I was throwing out my cup.
Hang on. It did that to me the other day.
Like, I don't want to subscribe to a towel rack.
Why would they even suggest that?
no,
Subscribe and save.
I have
mean-
100%.
I check things before I click checkout. Usually,
I didn't actually do it, but it was by default. I had to
Yeah.
click to like buy one instead of.
Usually it's like on like hair products
know
or
what-
Right.
skin products
Yeah.
or something like
No,
that.
Gavin,
yeah.
it did that to me the other day. I was trying to buy.
Oh, it's been
Hey, your
15
timer
minutes.
went off.
Wow, what did you get done in that 15
How much cleaning
minutes?
did you get done?
I got so much done. I listened to some good jokes.
Yeah.
I'm setting it for another 15.
You heard me pop. I was buying an enclosure for a computer Blu-ray drive, and it asked me if I wanted to subscribe and save.
Why?
Yeah.
And you clicked yes, yes.
Yeah. So getting one next
so
month.
what, you
So
want-
Awesome.
you're going to watch
Awesome.
more than one Blu-ray, right? You got to
Yeah.
change the enclosure.
Yeah.
Well, why? So you had an internal Blu-ray drive that you want to put on the outside?
Yeah, I got a new case and it doesn't have a drive slot anymore because that's ancient apparently.
Hey, yeah, question. Do you still use that drive?
Yeah, like I rip my movies.
Okay. No,
Are
fair enough, yeah.
you a Plex guy?
Yeah. Yeah, I was, and I got really lazy based on all the things we were talking about before.
I don't want to get up and put the disc in.
Oh, hey, my phone just told me it's time to stand.
Yeah, mine too.
What is it? Does it happen like on the 10
yeah, it's
minutes
like 10
to the hour?
hour.
Yeah.
You're watching a movie, you see everyone in there, just go.
It's not always the most accurate though, because I've been working at my standing desk and had it tell me that it was time to
Stand
stand.
now.
Yeah, and I was like, do you mean get on a chair? Like, what the fuck do you want from me?
Speaking, you got to put your arm down like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of watching a movie, I went to the theater for the first time since February 2020.
I
this
saw your
past
tweet.
weekend.
Yeah.
What'd you see?
I saw Roadrunner, which was the Anthony Bourdain documentary.
Oh.
No, not the Meet Roadrunner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a documentary about Anthony Bourdain. He was like he did travel shows and like cooking stuff on like Travel Channel and CNN and stuff like that. And he committed suicide 2 years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
So it was all about like his life and just like how he got to that point. And it was interesting. There was a lot of stuff I didn't know about, and despite the fact I'd feel like I'd watched him for decades on television.
Yeah.
Like I guess they said like when they said that initially he wrote a book. That's how he became well known. It was called Kitchen Confidential, and that it was like such a huge success that he was supposed to write a second book, and that some TV producers were like, hey, instead of writing a second book, why don't we make a travel show?
Yeah,
And
books
why
are
don't we
boring.
just follow you around and make
Got
something
him.
for television, and we can do it that way. And so he's like, sure, we'll do it. Why not? And before that, he had never traveled.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So it was like
Wow.
they said that the two people who pitched him, the two producers, they were like they'd had one meeting with him before for 2 hours where they pitched this. They didn't know the guy at all, and they got on a plane with him and went to Japan. And they're like, all right, we're going to film for 2 weeks, going around to different places. And they were just like,
Wow.
he didn't know them, they didn't know him. Like so, it's like all this weird, awkward interaction. He'd never been outside of the U.S.
Wow, that's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah, and then
people are
like
just
by
better.
by the end, like by the time you watch like the shows he'd been doing it for a long time, it's like this guy seems like the most seasoned world traveler.
Yeah.
Like he knows every little thing
think
about
I
every
watched-
place.
I think I watched some No Reservations, and he seemed like he'd been everywhere on Earth.
Yeah, like there was he did I think a No Reservations. I think it was No Reservations. I think he did one with like Barack Obama where they like sat down in a cafe in Vietnam and they like drank a beer and ate food like while Obama was still president. It's like that's fucking crazy.
Wow.
The level of access that he had and the things that he did.
Which theater did you go see it at?
The Draft House down in South Lamar.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
It was good.
it seems like a good movie. I mean, Fast 9 was available to be your first movie back. but
Right. I mean, that's
you
a
know,
missed opportunity right there.
That's there. You can say you learn a lot about me when you know that the last movie that I saw before the pandemic was the Sonic movie, and the first one I saw back was Fast 9.
The last one I saw was Parasite.
Okay,
It was like my second viewing.
Oh, okay, that's good.
One thing I should bring up, Mike just reminded me, there was a little bit of controversy about that Roadrunner documentary because, obviously Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. So it's a lot of interviews with other people, and like they use archival footage of him from, obviously, he'd been on TV for a long
Sure.
time.
Right.
They also used a deep fake version of his voice to read things that he never had recorded himself saying.
Oh,
I don't
no.
like that.
They had an email that he wrote, but obviously he never recorded himself reading that email. So they had this deep fake program read,
To read the
the
email,
email. But it's like, and I guess,
Did they try and pass it
yeah,
as him without mentioning that?
Right,
Did
there's
they?
no mention of it in the movie.
That's the
That
part I have the
seems
biggest
weird.
problem.
Yeah,
with.
I feel like
But-
you could do that as long as you say, "Oh, we."
It would have been better if they
recreated his
clarified it.
voice,
And-
yeah.
And, honestly, in the edit, I don't think there was any need to have him narrate it. They could have had someone else read it because he sent that email to someone who they interviewed. They could have had
Oh,
the
they could have read it,
recipient read it.
Or just anybody.
Obama.
If they're, yeah.
Everyone, beautiful voice. Just have Obama doing that.
Yeah. That seems
I listened to his audiobook. It was great.
a little out of poor taste.
Yeah, it was
in
it
that
was
situation.
weird.
Yeah.
It was definitely like a strange choice for that documentary.
I there's got to be not that our government. I'm not going to get into it, but we've got to pass some legislation or some shit at some point that's like you have to have a disclaimer. Like we've got to get that going now. Of like because that's what's going to happen all the time.
For clarity, it was just audio. There was no video of it.
Sure.
It was just like
This
a
time.
VO. Yeah.
This time,
Yeah.
I mean, they've done it in.
For now.
Like, I assume they did it with, like Carrie Fisher's voice when her face was made young again. Or
Oh,
from
but she only had
scratch.
like one line, right?
But it's like it's because it's. Like it's fiction. Like it's.
yeah, I guess
You're not there believing it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what they've done.
Not to keep bringing it up, but Paul Walker in Fast and Furious 7.
yeah.
They use CG and his brother. I mean,
It's true.
but
Well, I guess, yeah, like where does it, because this is a documentary
Right.
about someone's experience. And like if you're acting as though this person is reading it even though they never did, but you're portraying them as a real person in this situation. Whereas like in Star Wars, it's a character that you're, you know, having live on in a certain way.
I feel like a disclaimer is just the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey,
Well,
for immersion's sake, we've
Yeah.
made it seem
We've
like he's
recreated
Even
really
then,
bad.
though, but like us, like you're saying, like if they had the people that he'd sent those messages to read them, I feel like that would have had more of an impact because you're hearing from the people
Yeah.
that he affected.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
An interesting choice.
yeah. I mean, it is funny though when you can get it to be like celebrities saying like farts and stuff like that. That like let's more of that.
I feel like that even started back, you know, this has been something that's been building, right? Like,
Yeah.
I remember the first time this happened, I want to say it was back in the late 90s, Coke did an ad with, I think, Fred Astaire. And it was like, Fred Astaire's been dead for years. And like
Weird.
Yeah, they had like this, I think it was like a Singing in the Rain thing where he comes out and like dances and it's like holding a Coke. And at that time, like that was the first time it happened. People were like, wait, like, is this, like, where do we draw the line here? Like, this person is dead. Would they have even accepted this sponsorship? Like, is it the
Yeah.
estate making decisions? And
I assume they have to go through the estate.
right, but
yeah.
it's creepy. And then that has led to this creep where now we're at a point where you could have people saying or doing things that they never did at all. Like at that one, they used like at least a base reference from a movie. Now it's like it can be anything invented from nothing.
I mean, to be fair, the other way, you know, I could imagine that Anthony Bourdain's family appreciated like hearing his voice again and saying something like unique. Like I don't know, I could see that too.
Yeah, they had interviews like with his brother and his ex-wife, his second wife, and like people who knew him. It was there were a lot of people talking.
Sounds good.
I've seen
it was interesting.
the filter on social media that like brings photos back to life. And
Back
it,
to life like they used to be
like,
when they were alive.
but I mean,
To life.
like people do it with relatives that have
Yeah.
passed or friends that have passed, and like they have a picture and then it animates the picture like moving and smiling and like doing all this stuff.
Seems creepy as hell.
It's if people want that for their experiences and like it makes them feel like, you know, connected to that person, by all means, but in my feelings it's a little off.
Too far.
A little creepy for my
A
liking.
little bit uncanny valley.
There was
Little
somebody who
bit.
even they were filming themselves drawing and painting, and left it on the whole time.
Yep.
And before the eyes were drawn, like it was just like the lip shape and like just the like
Like
a
a black
single
line.
line
So
for
it's
an
like
eye.
while they were before it was finished.
It was already trying to animate.
That's
it was
crazy.
Yeah,
It
that
was-
was pretty cool though,
very interesting,
but also
yeah.
very off-putting.
yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, porn's gonna get weird in the next 5 years here.
I remember we used to
Yeah, in the next
I'm just
5
being
years.
honest. Yeah.
we used to use
Well,
that,
yeah.
that program Crazy Talk. I don't know
Oh,
if you ever
God.
had to use Crazy
Yeah.
Talk back in the day.
Yeah.
And like that was like a very rudimentary way to animate like a still image to make it look like it was talking.
Yeah.
Or like blinking and moving around. Now it's just like it's all algorithmically done as opposed to like
You
you're
just, like,
setting
track the eyelids and
Yeah,
stuff.
now you don't have to fucking set
Yeah.
those keyframes around.
All I'm gonna do is talk about TikToks.
No.
But
Automatically.
there was this like couple where like the girlfriend kept photoshopping a smile under her boyfriend's pictures because he never smiled.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
And he got super angry. It was really fucking
or
funny.
super happy.
Or super happy. Can't be angry now.
That's funny.
La, la, la,
Yeah.
la, la.
My life's just TikTok now, so you know, whatever.
Oh, your life is TikTok currently, but is it going to be all Steam Deck in a couple of months? Kerry and I were already arguing about this before the podcast.
Yeah.
You got your
So that's
Steam
like
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
a Steam version of it's like a Steam
Switch?
Switch.
Yeah.
It's
It's basically
the name
like
is confusing to me,
it's
yes,
very
it's a
What's it
terrible
called?
not good.
Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck, not a Stream Deck.
but also not a Steam Link.
Yes,
Not a
it's
Steam
like
Link.
a
Confuse them
handheld
both.
computer, like a Switch,
Yeah.
Right. No, I saw the
Yeah,
I saw the
but-
post about it, but
a PC that can run Steam.
So is it running the games or is it streaming them like a Steam Link?
No, it's running.
It's running them.
Can you stream them instead?
It's.
I think you could.
I think you could. Yeah,
can
it's
you
running
stream from your
SteamOS.
Steam Deck? From your
You
Stream
would
Deck
stream
to the
from
Steam Deck?
your
like a
PC to
yeah.
your Steam Deck.
I mean, you could install fucking Windows on it if you want. So yeah, you could. I think somebody was saying like docked. This might be super wrong, but docked. It was about like because you can like sit on a dock and put on a TV. It was about as powerful as an Xbox One or PS4, but when running at like 720p, like on the screen, it was like only 25% less powerful than a Series X or PS5. Like
Why dock do they compare it to the Xbox One, but undock they compare it to the Series X?
well,
I guess because it's like
the
lower res.
resolution, yeah. The being able to play at 720 makes the games
gotcha.
run and look better, but it's also then on like the
Yeah, it seems like a
screen.
slightly flawed comparison, but that's interesting.
It is, yeah.
So I could not bring myself to pre-order this thing. You know why?
Yeah. Oh, because that website didn't work.
because I hated the Steam controller so much.
That thing was a piece of shit.
So I was like, they don't know how to make hardware. I'm not going to fucking order that thing until I can hold it myself and see it.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
Look, here's the thing I will say.
Or do a second iteration. I think
Or do a
that's
second iteration.
better, yeah.
Okay.
Valve does not have a great track record of releasing a piece of hardware
Well,
and then supporting it.
The Index was good.
Index. Here's
Yeah,
the
they
thing.
released one game for it.
It was good though.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, you could do a lot with it. Other
Gabe-
than that one game.
Gabe, if you're listening, you are know Valve. I love you guys. The actual haptic like touchpad thing feels very good to use. Anytime they design a controller, it's so clear that they're PC players.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know
Where do your hands
where
go?
do the hands go. I pre-ordered it because it was $5 to pre-order, and it made me feel like more secure. And I like the way. Did you hear like how they did it with like the like? There's a weird way to put it, like gatekeeping pre-orders
No.
to try and prevent scalpers.
That's good.
So you could pre-order it Friday starting at noon our time, but you could only pre-order it on Friday if you've had a Steam account that had been active since like I think June of 2021.
Oh, it's like since before they announced it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then if not, you could pre-order it on Sunday. So, you know,
Gotcha.
if you never had a Steam account and you want to get this, you could. You just have to wait till Sunday.
Just avoids a bunch of people
Yeah.
flooding in who intend to like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you just, Gabe was there, just like, no, you can't get this now.
Smart.
I want to argue with someone in
Later.
chat.
I was
Sombrus is saying it's not a pre-order, it's a $5 deposit. Listen, dude. Are we really gonna? It's Sombrus. Are we gonna fucking split hairs over this? What is the $5 going towards? Good God, man.
Deposit.
So, wait, does the $5 go against the price of it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think if you cancel it, it just goes to your wallet.
I'll be honest, I was hoping for a little bit more out of that new Switch update.
Yeah.
Rather than like a 0.4-inch edition or something. Like what?
well, yeah,
what
it's-
did it really
it's-
give
It's
us?
like a
OLED.
slightly bigger screen that's OLED, and it has new sound. And
I just feel like it was small enough to be like a quiet update. Like when they increased the battery size, and it was just like,
yeah,
the batteries are bigger now.
this one has the same battery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially the same size screen, right?
Yeah.
I
And
just
I think
feel like
now
it was,
the
it was
dock
weird
will
to have a
have
big announcement for.
will the dock have a dedicated Ethernet port?
Yeah,
in.
Yeah.
but
Built in.
you're losing the USB port that was on the inside anyways.
Yeah.
Which is what I was using. I have a USB connector to an Ethernet port there anyways.
It's the
so,
same thing.
And
give me
also, and still, the only thing I wanted, Bluetooth audio.
Yep.
Still no Bluetooth audio.
I know.
Which the Steam
Steam Deck.
Deck has, right?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
If that thing docked could do 4K, I would have bought it probably. That
Yeah,
Switch.
that's what I was. That's. I was waiting for like the Pro to do 4K.
I,
I'll
think I'd love
send
the
you a
idea
link
of
to
a
an
Pro.
adapter that I got for the Switch. It's
it's just it's another
something.
thing.
Before we get too far away from the video game talk, have you guys played It Takes Two?
Yes, I
play
played
it
a little
now.
bit with John.
You play with John?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
Trevor and I have been playing it.
It's cute.
It is such a good game. I cannot get enough of it. I just I want to keep playing it, but I don't because I don't want it to be over.
I just did the bit where we have a hammer and nails.
We did that part already. Now we're in a I won't give it away because it's a whole story. But yeah, that game is beautiful.
They do a good job, like having the two players have to work. I haven't had that much fun two players like doing like
Same.
co-op stuff since like Portal 2.
Yeah.
Like the co-op stuff back then.
I also love how low stakes the game is. Like you could die, and it just like pops you right back in.
Mm-hmm.
The
What if
the
it was like
mechanics.
hardcore mode? You just reset the whole game if one of you died.
I would literally just destroy everything in my path. But also, like, the mechanics are super fun and a little, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not too strict. So, like, if you jump to grab something, as long as you're, like,
in the area.
in the
ballpark.
range, it'll hook on and stuff like that.
What,
like
what are you
it's-
playing on?
PlayStation
PS5 or 4?
5.
5.
Yeah.
How's the like haptic shit?
so the 15
Man, we
it's
talked about a lot of stuff in 15 minutes.
I was
wow.
going to say, yeah,
Dang.
I like it. I think it's good.
That's my favorite thing about the next gen.
the controller on the PS5 is fucking amazing.
It's really good, yeah.
I want one.
That's my first time playing on anything on the
I'll
PS5.
buy you a controller.
Have either of you played the new Ratchet and Clank game on the PS5?
Oh, I platinumed it, Gus.
That game is amazing.
it is the most next gen game I've ever played.
That game is fantastic. I played it in performance RT mode.
I did performance mode, which I regret.
Yeah.
now.
What's performance RT?
So performance RT is 60 frames a second, and
Still ray trace.
still has ray tracing. but doesn't add all of the other bells and whistles. So if you
Yeah.
do full performance, I'm sorry,
I did fidelity. I'm sorry.
if you do fidelity,
That's what I did.
then you get
30
all the
frames.
bells and whistles, but 30 frames a second. And the performance even knocks even
and
more
like
off.
every little like everything you smash, it's like 100 little like bolts and nuts go against the ground. Every one you pick up is just a little doop, 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 doop on your hands.
Yeah, and the triggers
I
are
love
so
that.
good for the weapons. Like a lot of them, it's like depending on which weapon you have equipped, the trigger sensitivity is different and
Yeah.
feels different. So some of them, it's like you pull down halfway and it like stops you, and then you go all the way to fire.
That's sick.
I'm about to sound really fucking old again. Gus, did your finger hurt sometimes?
No,
My I would get like right finger fatigue.
You threw out your finger?
Yeah. I'm actually not an epic gamer. Like
I would
you.
get
don't
that with
know.
some games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
yeah, like the default gun you fire, if you go like halfway and then click, it's like a single shot, like a pew.
Yeah.
But if you rapidly hold it down, then it turns into like a
Yeah.
spread
So
shot.
cool.
yeah.
And all based on like customizable like, haptic feedback on the
Yeah.
controller that changes depending on how you're
I feel
pulling
like-
the trigger. It's amazing.
The Xbox controller has, I don't think it has that, but it has the capability to vibrate
Yeah.
the triggers. I
I
feel
think
like no
it
games
Now
do
I
that.
play
does,
that game.
but it
Ratchet and
never-
Clank.
It's,
I've ne- I
it's
don't-
really good.
Yeah, I have like I splurged and I got the Elite 2
The Elite
thing.
2's
And it's like
nice.
the nicest control I've ever owned, but it's missing all of that stuff, and it's just
Yeah.
like even like the Switch, it's like the HD Rumble. It's like it's got that.
The thing I have an Elite 2 as well, and maybe
You
I
could
just
said
don't know how
2-2. Come on.
maybe I just don't know how to do this. Maybe you guys can answer this for me. On the original Elite, you could double tap the sync button if you wanted to disable the paddles on the back.
Oh, interesting.
And on the
Could
new,
you?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
because I would always hit it by. And in some games I would hit it by accident. And I didn't want it. In some games I wanted it. On the Elite 2, you can't do that anymore.
Flick them off all at once.
Yeah, but I like to keep
I
them
know.
on.
Yeah.
Because then I developed this thing where I would just nervously hit them all the time. And then now with the Elite 2, since I can't disable those paddles, I'm just always like, oh shit, fuck.
That
Do
would
you
actually
use
be
the,
amazing.
the shift features on those paddles?
No.
I don't think I'm smart enough to do that.
'Cause I have it so that like I use 3 of the paddles, but the top left one is the shift, and then the other ones become like my TV volume. So and I hold down and like volume up, and it's like I don't think you could do that on the first Elite,
God,
but I find that so useful.
We're super smart.
We're super nerdy.
We're in the
Super
future. You guys ever think about
You
that?
guys are
We're
so
smart.
experienced. This is my first time ever playing anything on the PlayStation 5, so I'm getting used to that controller.
How did you get one?
It's not mine. It's Trevor's.
How did he get one?
How did he?
Yeah.
I think he just found a one to order on a site that was like putting them up every now and then.
He found a dude on a rascal scooter. It was really
Oh no, wait!
Behind a school.
I think Larry found one and knew that
found
Trevor
one. Weird.
Like,
for
available
audio
for
listeners, it's really
purchase.
weird that Barbara put "found" in air quotes.
found.
I'm trying to get a Series X right now, and I'm on like a Discord that like alerts me every time they go on. It's
I got so lucky. I ordered one the day they went on pre-order
Yeah.
from the Microsoft website.
Wow.
I think everyone was trying like all the game retailers, and I was getting frustrated. And someone just tweeted at me that day like, "Why don't you try the Microsoft website?" I was like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
shit." And I just went there. It was like it was no problem. I just went like I was buying anything.
It was around Trevor's birthday when it came out, so I tried to like
Mm-hmm.
go to a bunch of different retailers and stuff to try to see if I could like surprise him with one. But I also was like, I probably can't do that because he's doing the same thing, and we're gonna end up with 2 PlayStations.
I mean,
Yeah, anytime I saw them for sale, I was sending them to you for a while. Like here's a
Yeah.
link. They're here for a
did you
little
get
while.
disc or digital?
I wanted digital, but I got disc.
I think it's digital.
Yours is disc.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I saw it.
He's been
Where
in
did
your
you
house.
see? Oh yeah. You were at my place one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Gus
the
has been to
digital.
my house.
I remember because I saw it, and I have a disc one also. And I looked at yours and I thought, is hers upside down or is mine upside down?
Oh.
Would you see it?
Neither of them were.
They had it upside down in an ad they had to pull.
Oh.
Yeah, like they put out an ad and it was upside down, and everybody's like, hey guys, maybe check on that.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Oops.
But yeah, that game is, it's
check
so
that
much
out.
fun.
Ton of fun. I played it on PC.
It's funny because I watched you and John play it on stream one time.
Yeah.
And I was watching you guys do this one level with the toolbox,
Mm-hmm.
that boss, and I was like, "Fuck, this game looks so hard." And when Trevor and I got to that point, I was just like, "Oh no, I didn't see how they beat this. What do we do?"
That was tough. That took us a few tries to get through.
Yeah.
It was my fault. I kept messing that up.
When you play it, is it one of those games where you feel more bonded with the person afterwards, or do you hate them? Because Portal 2, I felt like went both ways, depending on.
I think it's bonded.
Okay.
There's not as much hate as there was
I
with
think it
Portal
depends
2.
who you're playing with. Like Trevor has the patience of a saint. And so if
Yeah,
I
he does.
die 1,000 times, I'm just like, I'm like, oh, sorry. He's like, it's okay. Like, we'll just go again. Don't worry.
Come on, champ, let's
Yeah,
go.
he's like, don't worry about it. You're
Do
learning.
an orange slice?
Whereas, like, if I was playing with someone else, I'd probably be like, "Come on,
Okay.
you're so bad," and I'd be like, "I know."
I'm just enjoying the rumble so much.
He's very much like just a very, very patient, kind person. Not everyone is like that, especially with co-op games. So.
Yeah, you had to find the right person for a co-op game.
Oh yeah. You can play with Trevor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah. We can link arms, like the controllers going around each other.
You have like your right arm, and he uses his left hand, and then the other way there.
Yeah.
Like you each hold.
We get to a part where it vibrates a lot, and we just like lower.
Yeah. I think the thing is like it's such a fun, relaxed game in terms of like it really is no stakes because you die, but you come right back to like the last checkpoint, or just if the other player is still alive, you just pop up where they already are. Yeah. You can, if you die at the same time, you just go back to your previous checkpoint.
Yeah.
That's like a whole thing. I feel like right now is talking about easy mode and stuff, and can we just have fun?
Just enjoy games.
Sometimes I'll admit it. Sometimes I lower the difficulty. Like I'm replaying the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect still.
Yeah.
And it's like I've already played these games. I already beat them. It's like I just want to see the story again. So I lower the difficulty.
I just want to play a game.
Yeah. It's like I just want
That's
to.
crazy to
I
me.
just want to remember the story.
Lower difficulty.
Yeah.
I already beat the games. I already did it.
But don't you want to know if you still got it?
No. I just want to remember the game. The game I played 10 years ago.
I think I think I'm a little bit more in your camp, but I also am not upset that Gus lowered it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
So,
there's people out there that are like,
Factorio without the aliens.
Sometimes. I didn't always. So I've been replaying Mass Effect 3, and I had to rewatch that RT animated adventure we made when it came out, complaining about James. Like, who the fuck is this guy just showing up after 3 games?
Yeah. We made a few videos in Mass Effect 3, didn't we? In the multiplayer.
God, that multiplayer was so much fun. I gotta rewatch that. Like, that's the thing I miss in replaying Mass Effect 3 now. It's like, I had so much fun in that multiplayer. I would always make like a Krogan biotic and just like charge into all of the enemies. And
I know we had a thing with bees, but I can't quite
the
remember
bees.
what else.
They were everywhere.
did the remasters have multiplayer?
No.
It's just single player.
Yeah. So that's why I've been missing it.
Yeah.
I think we need to go ahead and wrap up right now. We have that interview we're gonna show you right now with Kevin Smith. So stay tuned for that. But we're gonna wrap up the main part of the show. Don't go anywhere because we still have Kevin Smith interview coming up right now.
Woohoo!
So check it out.
Bye, but stay.
But stay. Bye. But no bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We got a special bonus segment of the Rooster Teeth podcast. It's me, Gus. I'm here with John and Blaine. And we got a special guest with us. We got Kevin Smith here. Hello, welcome, Kevin. How are you doing?
Absolutely lovely to be here, man. But I almost died 3 years ago, so it's lovely to be like fucking anywhere. Above ground is a good place, kids. And people above ground, you know what I always say? I'm like, oh, above ground's better than below ground. But that's not true if nobody is listening to you and you're being ignored. Being above ground and having people be like, come on our podcast so we can ask you questions. That is as good as it gets, my friends, because that means you're still relevant, still vital. And that's something I've been looking for nearly 30 years of my career, relevancy. I had it in the beginning. I need it now more than ever.
I feel the same way about above ground pools. I'm just like, they're clearly better. There's so much, they're warmer.
I grew up in an above ground pool. I was raised in an above ground pool. The above ground pool good enough for me.
That sounds pruny.
It was. It was very pretty. I remember going into the above ground pool like it was seasonal, so we would take it down in the fall because we lived in Jersey. But we left it up till October one year, and like at a certain point, you stop skimming and you stop putting chlorine tablets in. That shit was like pond green. And my mom went to Bradley's and she bought like a discount swim fun shit, so like fins and a snorkel and a mask. And my brother, who's like 4 years older than me, he's like, we have to try it out. And we went that horrible fucking pool, half full of some of the dirtiest, murkiest bullshit rainwater left in the world, and fucking strapped on our gear and paddled around, put our faces under with the fucking mask and the snorkel and shit.
Did you come out all green like Merman? You came out. And...
I did. I came out. I'll tell you what. That's what gave me the ability to write Clerks. That's the point of that story, kids. Always go swimming. That was my Marvel Secret Origin story.
The chemicals in that pool gave you the abilities that have kept you going this long.
Yeah,
Altered his
or the
brain.
lack of chemicals in that pool.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of the above ground pool. You don't see them anymore, man. Now everyone's like, well, I guess it costs like, because my brother is trying to get one. He's like, I want an in-ground pool. I said, how much does that cost? And he said it was like $30,000 to $40,000. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, I guess like you could either decide to get a car or like pay off a pool and have an in-ground pool. And having an in-ground pool instantly makes a motherfucker feel rich, right? Especially if you grew up with an above-ground pool, you're like, holy shit, like we're moving on up. Like this is
When I was a kid, I didn't have any friends with an in-ground pool, but that was like, we all held that esteem. Like if we knew someone with an in-ground pool, we knew they had money, like they were rich, and none of us did.
And they were loved as well. Kids,
but I had an in-ground pool and I felt none of those things, Kevin. So I don't know what you're talking about.
It's so awesome to hear that, because my whole life I always felt like life would have been better if we were richer as children, but apparently not. Apparently it helped.
No, you needed to suffer and be poor and have a crappy life to be able to use that for stories later on. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Is it? I guess. I mean,
I hope it's not. I'm trying to give my kids a good life, but I hope it doesn't ruin them to not be creative.
You just fucked your kids up, man.
Damn it.
Life by giving them what they need. How dare
I need to take away all their stuff and say Kevin Smith told me to do that?
Please don't bring my name into it. Like I said before, trying to remain relevant, youth helped that. So I need those kids to believe in me still.
Yeah, to watch He-Man.
that as well.
That's what we're talking about.
It's funny you bring that up, because like growing up, my family, didn't have very much money, but one of the things that I did have, one of the few toys I did have as a kid, were some He-Man action figures. And to this day, if my mother goes to the store and she sees a He-Man action figure, she takes a photo of it and texts it to me. Like 3 days ago, she texted me Battle Cat that she saw at Walmart, and she was like, "Look what I found!" And I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, this one's a little different. Like the legs on this one moved. The one I had, it didn't. It was like the original figure that didn't move." Yeah, it's like you would put the saddle on it, and I was like, I can't believe my mom here's like, it's almost 40 years later, and she's still like, she still remembers that I used to love He-Man, and when she sees the toy, she's still like, "Look, I just saw this in the store."
That shit, you just gave your mom so much credibility in this space. Like, in this space, you generally hear the stories like, my mother sold my comics and sold all my toys. Hearing that, like, even as a grown-ass adult man, your mom's like, your friend He-Man is here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable. I wish my mom...
I have a legitimate story where I grew up in a very religious home, and they wouldn't let me enjoy He-Man because Skeletor looked like a demon. Same with X-Men. My parents would...
And you had the Havoc Step, which is literally a ram's head.
Yeah. They were against any satanic. Of that. They wouldn't like anything satanic, like Nightcrawler from X-Men.
Could you, my dad. Could you imagine growing up in a house? But you're like, I did. I imagined it every day.
Yeah, that was me. I did that stuff in secret at school. The kids had the toys, and I'd play with them at school and everything like that. But at home, none of that stuff. But now I get to enjoy it myself.
I was raised Catholic too, but my parents weren't that hardcore. Like, they were okay with us watching devil movies. We'd go to church, and the priest would be like, "Don't watch The Exorcist." And then my parents were like, "Yeah, but," and then we'd watch The Exorcist. So that's
Catholic parents. I was like Baptist Christian parents. They're the ones who are just like trying to purify you at every moment.
Well, you just get hit a whole lot less than Kevin probably did as a.
I was a '70s kid, man. So we got like hit a lot. My dad was not abusive, but when my mom would always do this thing where she's like, he won't listen to me. And then your father is coming home from work. He's already frustrated. And he's got your mom going like, "Your kid's fucking bad." And he's like, "All right, time for the belt." And then when you were getting smacked, your mother fucking turned and was like, "Don't do it. Why would you do it to him?"
My baby.
Yes. And it's like, you put me in this position, you fucking terrible Iago. But yeah, I was of a generation where you could get hit. And I remember when it stopped, when there was like this kind of, like when they started talking about in the media, like just the notion of like, why would somebody 4 times as large strike somebody small? And like, who thinks that this kind of negative reinforcement works? And so
with a weapon,
I had a kid, like whipping. By the time I had a kid, it was just not even on the table. Like Jennifer and I would talk about, like, could you imagine people would like hit a kid back in the day? And I never even had an occasion where I was like, "Oh, this kid's making me so mad, I need to lay hands on this kid." I can't imagine how miserable my father's life was, that he was just like, "Let me at him. Oh my God, just you trigger me and I'm going to pull that belt off."
But when the shoe flipped and then the beating was not as acceptable, then you're like the guy in Die Hard and you're like, "Diplomatic immunity."
That's a weapon too, my friend.
Did I say Die Hard? Fuck. See you later.
We're here to talk about obviously the He-Man show, Masters of the Universe Revelation, which comes out July 23rd. It's coming out in a couple days from the time this airs. and luckily I had a chance to watch it. We had
I
a
won't
screener.
spoil it because it's weird. I live in I'm in the future of Masters of the Universe now because everyone's about to see the first 5, but we're still in the back 5. Like, we're finishing up the back 5. So I was doing press a couple weeks ago, and somebody asked me a question about the first 5, and I thought they were referencing something in the back 5, and completely, like as a stoner, conflated the two, and started answering the question. And the people were looking at me like, is he having a stroke? But I wasn't. I was just answering a question they hadn't asked about something they hadn't seen yet and stuff.
You're pulling a Tom Holland.
A little bit, man. Well, I mean, but I think he does it to be like adorable. I think.
Oh, he does it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think his whole thing is to lean into it and shit. I mean, I was scared going into this because like I haven't worked for like a corporation in a long time and shit. And this was not just Netflix, but also Mattel Television. So in my world, I'm like, let me tell you the story of Clerks 3. We haven't made it yet, but spoiler. But when it comes to this shit, like you have to be crazy circumspect. You can't just share as willingly as you normally do because it's not mine, right? I'm working on it.
Right.
But like, and Netflix has a very tight ship. They're like, look, we're in the business of shocking people with things they didn't know was coming and stuff.
Right.
If we're out there talking about it all the time, we can't really shock people and stuff. So it's been a weird like period where like for almost 2 years straight, I could only talk about it with certain people. And now I get to talk about it with the world. But even like when you just said this is going to air before it drops, then I still have to be careful because I'm like, oh, I can't say the one thing because then they'll spoil it before they've seen it and stuff like that. It's a minefield, man, but they pay you well. Anybody could probably enjoy it. We tried to make it 4-quadrant. Marvel was our lodestar. I was like, let's just do what Marvel does. Reserve their childhood in a new recipe that tastes even better and stuff like that. It'll make them feel warm and fuzzy inside like the critic in Ratatouille and stuff. So that was our model going into it and whatnot. And I had 2 bosses, Rob over at Mattel Television and Teddy over at Netflix, who are like born, dyed in the wool, hardcore Motu fans. Teddy still has every toy. We're living in Teddy's dream. He dreamed of this. He's like, when I was a kid, I used to watch the show, and I always thought they were about to kill each other, Skeletor and He-Man, and then I grew up and realized that shit was never going to happen. He's like, I've always wished that I could see that version of the show that I thought I was watching when I was a kid. I want to see a version where there are stakes, where people can die. Somebody can get stabbed with the sword that the guy's always swinging around and stuff. So at that point, I was like, ooh, I think I could do that. I'm your man. If they asked me to reinvent this shit, I've been like, no way. But just like tell the next episode, that was the idea. It's like, we're just doing the next episode of the old show, but in a world where people can get stabbed this time.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely feels like you grew up with the audience from the original because like you're treating us with a lot more respect. You could have phoned it in, and I would have eaten it up. But there's dramatic stakes and there's character
low hanging fruit. Like that's the danger I think of Motu. And Teddy was real clear about that up front. He was like, "Look, some of the characters are goofy. It's very easy to make fun of this world and stuff." He's gone. Just do me a favor, like just once. I wish people would treat this with like true reverence. So,
dude, you made me care for Orko.
Right? And I'm like, you don't have no idea how much conversation we put into that, like into designing the fact that we wanted you to care about Orko because we knew that like some people were like, fucking Orko ruined that show when I was a kid. So we were like, all right, we got to make Orko. The mandate that we had in the writer's room was like, let's make Orko tattoo worthy. That everyone's going to want to get a fucking tattoo on their arm because he's the little engine that could. And so we thought about you going into it specifically going, oh, we got to get people that are on the fence about Orko.
Success. I fell for the guy.
I'm telling you.
There's even moments where like I pulled myself, without getting into spoilers, pulled myself out of the moment and I was like, I'm tearing up over a green tiger. And I'm like, what did they do to me? This is awesome.
And let me add one more to that. It's not just a green tiger. It's a green tiger voiced by Stephen Root, fucking Milton.
I know.
And still, so he draws the emotion out of you. Like, there's Teddy's words of like, don't make fun of it, really set the standard. Like, because there's no, like, I think when you get in the back half, I loosened up a little more, and there's some Kevin Smith type jokes in the back half. But in the front half, man, there's humor, but it's like not me doing my normal humor, and nobody's disrespected. Nobody's like, look at this stupid ass costume. Everything is played incredibly straight and honors kind of what went before us. Teddy said, he goes, just for once, treat this shit like Shakespeare. And I was like, I mission accomplished. Like, I will take that challenge. I can't do Shakespeare, but I could do fake spear, man.
Is that why you had Merman get voiced by Kevin Conroy to give Merman some credibility? Like if Kevin Conroy's coming out of that mouth, you're going to respect that.
Oh yeah, number one, as a Batman animated series geek, I'm like, to have Joker and Batman in the same scene, because Mark as our voice of Skeletor is actually talking at one point to Merman. But also, like, you know, Kevin is classically trained Broadway actor. I mean, we all know him as fucking Batman, of course, but like those pipes of his, he's used to projecting to the back of the house. So we gave Merman this very stentorian kind of like, we could have controlled Eternia, but you forgot about Merman, like this bittersweet kind of like loud Shakespearean performance. But he was definitely one of the first people we thought of because I'd worked with him before and I just love his work, period, and stuff. But since we knew Mark was going to be our Skeletor, we're like, we got to get Batman in here. We got to get Batman with Merman.
There was even moments where I was like, he kind of reminds me of like old Boba Fett before they dubbed him over, where he's hitting these hard R's and he sounds like a pirate. And I was like, that's fucking Merman, dude.
What we did too was like, kind of like, you know, if you go back and watch the old show, these voices don't sound a thing like the old voices. They didn't have to back then because they were for kids, and so the voices were very kid friendly and stuff. But here we get to grow up, and like somebody like Man-at-Arms gets to be Liam Cunningham, who played Sir son.
Oh, Liam just chewed every word perfectly.
And we love that he's got this like calm center, like he did on Game of Thrones, but we portray him in the show as the most dangerous man attorney. He is Batman. He's old Bruce Wayne, who could fucking do anything and kill you with a look. And even when he's not in physical battle, it's mental battle as well. So, like, getting that guy to voice that character suddenly lends that character more credibility than he ever had. He's not just the mustache with the fruit bowl on his head. He's like, that's everybody's dad and stuff like that.
I loved it. When I was a little kid, Man-at-Arms was my favorite He-Man character. And then to have Liam Cunningham, like some of his scenes where he's just like, you know, some of the reads and the attention he gives to that character is just so good, and it plays so well. Like, man, like this is the show that like I'm excited for this. It's so good.
We tried really hard. The idea was like, don't fuck up their childhood. Don't fuck up anybody's childhood. And we didn't.
I like the changes you made. Like the girls are jacked. I love that.
Yeah.
Fucking huge.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely like a post-Korra influence.
I love
Avatar.
that.
Like, you know, in a world where most of the cartoons I grew up with, you know, people had spaghetti arms and shit. Here, it's like, these people carry fucking swords. They weigh 25 pounds. It's like swinging a weight around at all times. Of course, they've got fucking jacked arms.
No spoilers, but the moment that there's a moment that Evil Lynn takes her crown off, and even that moment of just seeing Evil Lynn's hair and like that, I was like, ooh, this is a moment. I like this. This is
stolen from one of the episodes of the show. Like,
really?
Oh, yeah. Like, basically anything you see in the show, like, I'm telling you, I'm not creative. I have no new ideas. And I had a wonderful staff of writers, but, like, we leaned into, like, if you're going to do a thing, maybe it can reference a thing that happened, because there's a fan out there that's going to be like, oh, my God. And our whole plot kind of hinges on an old episode of the show that Paul Dini wrote years and years ago involving the sorceress character. So, like, you know, everything that we did in the show, like when Evelyn takes off the helmet and her white hair is flowing, that literally happened while they were on the Crystal Sea, like in the 80s, you know. So
interesting.
We keep homaging stuff. And it's just our guys, Powerhouse Animation, our directors, Pat and Adam, you know, they're not doing coloring book drawings like they did back in the 80s for He-Man and the Master Universe. They get to draw badass, like, wicked versions of these characters.
And you got paired with Powerhouse Animation, which is just fantastic. They are just killing it on everything they're making.
And they took a jump, man. Their Castlevania work is fantastic. Their Seismano stuff is fantastic. All the stuff they do, the Greek gods show was Blood of Zeus. Everything they do is fantastic. But for some reason, I think going into this, they were like, look, of everything we've done, this is probably the most high profile. So we're going to jack our game up even further. So Pat and Adam, who are directors, I don't think they'd directed before. They'd worked on a lot of other Powerhouse Animation. This is the first time they stepped up to the big job. And I will always advocate for a first-timer, because what you lack in experience, you get in fucking passion. Like, these two kids, they didn't grow up on the show, but now can quote it chapter and verse and love it as deeply as people from the 80s. You know, they're all younger than me and stuff. But, like, these cats became additional writers as well. Like we'd write the scripts, and then later on when they were animating the show, since they're overly familiar with every script and every episode, they would see shit we lost. Like in episode 10, there's a line that Adam was like, hey, we're going to call back this line from episode 1 because it'd be a really wicked way to tie this all up. And I was like, as the head writer of the show, I'm going to take credit for that. Thank you very much.
You're right, he is mine.
That was my good idea.
It's cool though, because like you mentioned, like Tila, there's like that sorceress episode. I think I know the one that you're talking about, but like you're holding the old cartoon to standards like in real life, where it's like you kind of gaslit that character, and like we can't let that slide. You got to bring it back. So it's cool.
That was my favorite thing, like about the opening of the old show, because it's so like audacious. It's very comic booky. You know, DC Comics worked on the Masters of the Universe characters before they went to Filmation. But so the idea of I got a secret identity and this person can't know about it, but some people do know, comes straight out of DC Comics, and that's what always appealed to me. But it's also like real grist for the dramatic mill, where it's like everybody knows except her. Why did you tell her? And then she's going to find out in the worst possible way at the worst possible time. How do you live with that and stuff? So the deception was like, you know, that was the adult element of our show. Everything else about it looks like your childhood, but then we add these like adult themes. As you saw in the first episode, first 10 minutes plays like a really well-drawn version of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Then something happens, and you're like, holy shit. Like somebody dies, and you're like, what? And the characters react in the same way, where they're all like, wait, something different has gone on. And that's where the adventure kind of takes its turn, pivots, and begins.
It's like putting an animated character in Dip and Roger Rabbit. Everyone's freaking out that an animated character died.
Oh my god, what a great reference! I haven't thought about that in fucking years. And I remember being in the theater for that, and like that's in my brand and wheelhouse. And still, I was like, "That's fucking metal." The fact, that's fucking metal.
Well, I can't wait for everyone to see Masters of the Universe coming out on Netflix. Masters of the Universe Revelations coming out in a couple days, July 23rd. If you've got a Netflix subscription, you can see the first 5 episodes. They're all dropping then. Then we can all talk about it together. You'll know the same things that we know. We're not going to know as much as Kevin knows, but we'll catch up to him eventually. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to talk with us. We're so happy, super excited for the show. Can't wait for everyone to see it. Again, thank you. We're really, really happy to have you with us.
Yeah, I'm so jazzed for the next 5 episodes.
I can't wait to share them with you, man. Honestly, this sounds like hype, but they're better than the first 5.
Oh,
I'm down.
That's the one thing I was happy about with what we did on the show. Like I wrote episode 1, so I should be like, episode 1's the best. But episode 2 is better than 1. 3 is better than 2. 4 is better than 3, 2, and 1. And 5 is our best episode. When you get to 6, it's better than the whole previous first 5. And it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen in written form in my life. So that was the one. I've never done episodic before, but being able to escalate it each time, so there's no like, oh, that episode was boring, like has been fun. And the beauty of only doing 10, right? Like if somebody was like, you got to do 20 of these, like the good folks who did the real show back in the 80s, the original show.
Like 64 episodes the first run?
It's 120 total.
Yeah. We were breathing very luxurious air where we're just making a giant movie and cutting it up.
That's great.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Kids, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hey everyone, if you like that video, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, thumbs up, all that stuff. Also, if you like shows about friends stabbing each other in the back, we got a brand new show for you to check out. It's called Camp Betrayal. You can click the link down below right now. Watch it. Do it.